Welcome to the world of Sony Trinitron, and welcome to another YouTube video. And in today's video, we're going to be taking a look at the Sony Trinitron color television, model number KV-2729R. And I'm either really bad at doing research, or I cannot find any actual photos of this specific model online, apart from the user manual. There are no photos of it that look just like the one I have online. So this very well could be the first actual documentation of this model actually existing. So the user manual itself does have a lot of helpful information in it, but it doesn't show you anything regarding how the TV actually looks. There's only a basic diagram that shows you what everything does on the front, the rear I/O, and the on-screen features that it has. And here it is, the Woodgrain TV. It has a particle board type of mid-frame on here, but it is not a plastic or a vinyl wrap finish. I think it's an actual wood veneer because it's solid, it's held up over all this time, and it still looks really nice. The color itself also looks pretty modern considering the age of this TV. Now the back of the TV is made out of plastic, which is pretty typical to see, but as you can see, it was made in April of '87. We'll take a look at the rear I/O in just a second, but man, that '80s Trinitron RGB logo just works so well with the wood grain and everything about this TV. Based on the serial number, if I'm reading it right, it's showing as the 901 that came off the production line. So it seems like it's a pretty early model, and it's pretty cool to see. The rear I/O on this TV is a bit lacking, and that's unfortunate to see because it looks like this cabinet was used with other similar Trinitron models. And what's even more interesting is that if you look closely on the input and output panel, you can actually see provisions for composite line in as well as stereo line in and out. But in this case, we only have the antenna input and something called MPX output. MPX stands for multiplex adapter, and it's a stereo broadcast adapter that gives the TV stereo. Now this specific model is the MLV 1100, and the reason why you need this in order to have a stereo output is because this TV is only mono. It does have a good sounding built-in speaker, but it's still mono. However, the antenna itself does accept a stereo input, and even though this doesn't have stereo line out, using this box it gives you a variety of different stereo line outputs, as well as giving you more options than a typical line out on a TV. The front is where all of the controls are, and unfortunately my model did not come with the door, but I made a mock-up of what it would essentially look like if the door was there. And it does look really nice, but unfortunately, in this case, I'll just have to live without it. But the front is also where all of the basic controls are, such as sharpness, brightness, hue, and color. The picture buttons control the contrast, and the erase and add buttons let you add or erase channels from the channel list. So if you're channel surfing, you can skip certain channels that you're never going to watch. And the cable selector is just if you want to turn cable TV on or off, as well as the essentials for a TV, such as the volume, the channel selection, and of course the power switch. The silver line that's above all of the controls and the speaker is also a pretty reflective piece of chrome. And of course, we can't forget about the remote commander for convenient operation. Now this isn't the factory remote, which is pretty obvious. This is from a late 90s Trinitron, but still it works just fine with this. And now it's time for the actual picture tube itself. So I'm demonstrating the basic on-screen information that shows up, and to reduce the actual image being all fuzzy, I've basically taken a still and I'm just overlaying that information. The features listed here are also the ones that are listed in the manual itself. And first off, we have a new micro black trademark Trinitron picture tube, which basically gives it a higher resolution and a higher contrast. And we've also got a multi-band tuner, and that tuner actually does a great job of producing a good picture. Even though it's only RF, I haven't really seen any visible snow or any distortion in the picture. It really does a good job at what it's doing. And we've also got dynamic color trademark system for superior color reproduction, and we've also got dynamic picture trademark system, which adjusts the picture contrast, so it's basically mini LED in the 1980s. We've also got a color pure filter trademark, which produces a fine picture detail without the CRT blooming or spilling the color, making it more blurry. So now let's do a quick test of how well the tube actually works. Now I've got a VCR as my source, and it's nothing too fancy. It's a 4-head machine, and that's basically as advanced as it is. But of course this is being fed through RF only. Even though there are a lot of factors that can affect the RF picture, the tuner is doing a really good job at actually capturing everything, and there's no snow or anything on the screen. It looks almost as good as composite, really. So now with a VHS tape playing, I'm going to freeze frame it, and we're going to see how well the adjustments work on this. So first off, the color, you can definitely tell that it makes the picture almost black and white when turned one way, but it really does increase the intensity. And for the brightness, it's surprising to see how well the brightness actually works, considering this is an older set. And after that, we've also got the sharpness, and you can definitely tell, even with just the iPhone recording, you can definitely tell the picture does get blurrier. And for the hue, you can also see that it is definitely making an impact because it makes Shrek more green or less considering on where it's positioned. So that's going to wrap up today's video, and if you guys enjoyed it, then consider subscribing, as it really does help out the channel. But if you guys want some extra bonus content, then stay tuned till the end of the video, because we're going to be showing off what GTA Vice City might have looked like if it existed in 1988. We're going to be capturing it on this Sony with a genuine VHS camcorder. This was also the same camcorder to capture some of the earlier shots in the video, but this is completely analog, no VHS digital filters here. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and as always, thanks for watching.
Yeah, no, it's the girl is and call means gather grass and